Look at all these emojis. Now back to me. Should I have to do, actually? Imagine painstakingly organizing all of these. I'll have to go through with that. I'll talk a little bit about relationships, but I can't because the topic is cars. But I can't because it's actually a corporate topic. It makes actually no sense to own a car in a lot of situations. People just want to own a car because people above them own a car, but you're not supposed to necessarily. You're almost supposed to create a demand for transportation and not own cars on purpose. So it's easier with transportation, but you guys are stupid, and of course you just gave up into corporatism. Do not give up. All right, ditch the car whenever you can. Do not use it. You definitely don't need it. Only in a relationship context do cars make sense. And again, I have to talk about cars right now. It's the best time. I came out of one after a long time wasted in a car. I technically was like a van, but I think that's just a detail, it's just a irrelevant detail. It had basically as much space as many seats as a car, so I don't really care. Just opens the door differently in the van. It's cool. You slide it. It's way cooler. Way safer too. Why can't every door do that? Of course they can't. It's not enough space for that. I don't know. You have legs in the end of the day. You have transportation. You have options. Owning a car is just a fucking liability, and you're wasting money. Like, it's not that crazy, alright? And you think you want to impress people, and it's good for relationships. No, it's special relationships. Special. Fame relation. You want to be famous, you need a car. You don't need a car just by default. Ooh, you want to be famous? Yeah? You better have a car if you want to be famous. And there's an option for that. But if you just mesmerized by things that people have and you don't actually understand the utility behind them, like I knew I'm not gonna fucking chase a car, and even when it was kind of appropriate for me to do that, because of course I'm leveling up every now and then, just move from one level to the other. At one point in my life, car was kind of a good thing. Just, I didn't fucking notice, that part of my life. Didn't notice the requirement. It is technically productivity booster. Can be a job, but mostly it's liability. You're taking a ridiculous risk, and if you don't understand relationships properly, you're just risking your life, even with a car. And even if you don't fucking die from a crash or get injured, you'll still die. You'll die from this. You think you're going fast, but because people love owning cars, they get you stuck. Because you love the same thing. I don't get stuck. I'm on the internet. I have my brain. I don't have to worry about shit like this. Technically, I'm living better life than every one of these people right now. Car is not a game. It's not a magical skill that you learn. You have to actually max out the skill to not get in trouble. I wouldn't even bother getting a driver's license because it sounds complicated to me. I don't know. I'm not gonna try and live fast or anything. One of those other capitalism videos I made. Don't live too fast. Car makes you feel fast. And that's addicting. That's another fucking problem. Cars just have too many problems. So many. And you feel empowered. But who's laughing now? People deliver things to my door, basically. They deliver all the things I want. All the things I can buy from the outside world to my door. The only thing that is not delivered to my door is a female. Alright? There's the only thing left, basically, in the bottom of the barrel that someone peed in. I don't even know if I want any females, to be honest. They look nice. But they accept this reality as if it's like completely normal, right? They just accept stupid shit and normalize stupid shit to the point where we're all retarded because of women. You're all just walking corpses. From my perspective, don't take it too fucking deep. It's not that you can do anything about it besides grow your brain, besides focus. If you don't accept that path, what can I do? So, I've entered to a van. The van drives fast. I just need to go to the fucking bigger city to get my documents. There's like a test every 2 years of how much can I work? Like, what's my ability to work? They kind of measure it in percentages. I actually have 35% capacity. I don't know why. I feel like I can work anything, but apparently not. Because of course not. I'm a good guy. Good guys don't get sucked into slavery. We're gonna have to talk about that too. Slavery is so online right now. It's so online. Nobody dares to call it that way. The masters are watching from every angle. There's just a lot of masters out there. All right? So slavery, it's just like it was a fine spread across the entire toaster. I mean, entire toast. You are toast. And you have no voice because there's butter in your mouth. In all your pores, there's butter. You can't talk about slavery for what it actually is because, oh no, black people actually been enslaved. Do you see how they fucking shifted the narrative so you literally can't talk about it? You're just not able to do that. Under capitalism, the narrative shift is so tremendous where it's like, you're bad for not working, you're bad for not earning money, because that's your worth, basically. You're worth as much as you earn money. You're not going to have any relationships if you don't earn money, which is not true. All the dumb people know exactly how to get relationships. They just pick on every single person, right? That's just another topic we'll have to talk about. But there's just a little bit of context. Pick it up. Savor it. That slavery is not something you can talk about, but it absolutely exists. You look at your rent price and it's like, yep, that's slavery. Immediately, just one word, rent, reminds you of this makes no fucking sense. You can't get the thing that you need. And you have to sacrifice everything, basically. You're just working every day to pay off something that benefits that other person that owns the property. So I'm so sorry about that. You get to survive though. That's pretty cool, and that's technically the main goal. But doesn't mean slavery does not exist under this pretense. Under individualism, which is capitalism, I'm sorry, bro. We can be picked up one by one. A boomer can slap you in the face and say, go to work, you're out of my house, alright, you owe me, and so on. They can fucking bully you until they get what they want. You working very hard. You enter slavery and accept it without a question. This is the sort of stuff we're supposed to actually rise against and figure out a way out. Just break it, but it's tough. Not to mention all this inflation, all this basically greed inflation, ego inflation that's happening in the background. I try to explain it maybe in some video, but well, need to do it once more. And the relationship context we need is no one knows how to make relationships anymore. Don't worry about it. All right? If you feel lonely or you are lonely, whatever your kind of connection to the world is, if you don't trust people and so on, that's totally true, and you shouldn't worry about it too much. All right? You're not out here to make friends, you're here to survive. That's your first and foremost need. You can only make friends if you want to be famous, if you want people's attention. Make friends that way. All right? Captivate people, ask them questions. Like if you find yourself courageous enough to do that, that's a beautiful thing. Courage is kind of necessary to enter this a fame chase, but again, it's a corporate thing. Mainly relationships are corporate thing. Mainly cars are corporate, but we can get a little bit of context that's useful in corporatism and capitalism. So relationships, even though people have no idea how to make them, the fundamental force of how to become an influencer and everything. All right. So what the fuck do we do? Well, I have to prove that cars are useless. In other words, they are a trap. Alright? You can have a perfectly fine life if you're my friend and you come to my room and we play video games. I think that's pretty fucking good life. I don't know why people opted out, I think we had a pretty good fucking time. But they just started doing their own things. And when people start doing their own things, when they start wanting to own things, and they kind of mimic the world too much, or to get accommodated with how the world works without asking a single question. Like, if you answer truly to yourself that yes, you need a car and you just have all the capacities, but I will actually explain why a car fundamentally will make you famous. Alright? Not to mention, if you drive a taxi, you're already famous. Basically, you can talk to anyone. I even, you can actually encounter a celebrity just because you're driving people around. Just because you're Ubering. Right? You immediately become a celebrity if you use the car properly, which is 24/7. Right? Riding everyone who needs a ride. That is how you use a car. Not any other way. If car is only 10% useful compared to other people who are chasing fame compared to a taxi driver, you're just doing it wrong, man. You're just doing something wrong. You're not demanding hard enough to avoid cars. And in America, Americans are just fucking doomed. Americans just live a complete upside down world and they're fine. But they're not fine. They're just making shit up as they go. Right? And they all agree to make shit up. I think America is just so fucking doomed that it's going to be a whole spectacle to see. If you adopt cars too hard, if you can't even live a city life, city life's supposed to have everything available. You should be fine in a city without a car. If you can, if there's no walkable cities, there's no city at all. It doesn't make sense anymore. Like, why would you build a fucking skyscraper if it doesn't contain every single fucking utility ever invented by a human being? It makes no fucking sense, guys. So the question is, what the fuck happened? You know, why do I encounter less people in the streets and more people in cars? Something just brain rotting around really badly right now. What happened? What forced people to think that way? That they can just own a car and everyone will be fine. I even heard, like, through the radio while I was in the fucking van, just waiting around, like 5 hours. You're just waiting around. If we use transportation, I wouldn't have to fucking wait, right? I would just go one place and come back. Yes, I would have to pay a little bit, because the ride was free in the end of the day. The ride was the adventure is what counts. But for fuck's sake, man. I don't want to waste time. No one should be wasting time. And transportation should be highest quality. So what happens? What makes it so attractive to make a stupid decision like this? To where, like, you even buy a car and it just, like, has all these seats and it's just one person every single time. You know, it has the capacity to carry 4 passengers. Guess what? It only carries the driver most of the time because it's just convenient that way. So it just creates this environment where people massively make a wrong decision. The funny thing is, they live too fast and they have too much fucking money in their hands. You know, just like money bleeds everywhere and just manifests into a car for free. They don't even have to think about it. Of like, well, I have a lot of money. What do I do with it? Fucking buy a car. It's just what they say to themselves. Because it feels like an upgrade to their fucking boring lives. People made their lives boring as fuck. They live too fast. They just automatically gravitate towards this thing that definitely doesn't benefit anyone who owns it. And again, you live too fast, and you all of a sudden you have a car. Now you want to go to visit that mountain. That mountain over there, you want to go to that mountain. Oh my god. Isn't it exciting to go to the mountain all by yourself? It's hard to navigate the world, necessarily. But surely you will have fun getting to that mountain over there. I was almost like a little bit creeped out by like how much my classmates cared about cars. Right? How much people just like in school care about cars. It's fucking ridiculous. Do you live in a whole different universe? Different part of time entirely? You can't just walk to your destinations anymore? What the fuck is that? Do you know how much more freedom you get just by walking? And now because people want the more cars people want, the more cancer that society basically develops. It's a pure cancer for society. Because you need infrastructure. We're not even talking about trains. Alright? Trains is like the devil version of cars. If cars were a Satan, it would be called train. So, congratulations, car is not that bad. If the bad version of car is a train. And I understand trains kind of have utility, they have magical utility that makes them like fucking again appear magical, appear like necessary. But if you ignore everything else, if you ignore the damages, you will love the prospects. Just like every fucking lottery ticket ever invented, you will forget the damages. Just think about the prospect of having $1 million. Like what? This the fucking cognitive dissonance, bro. Of completely missing the equation that everyone has to solve the equation. Ooh, shiny. No, I want shiny, actually. No math for me. Oil prices are going up. Should be a laughing matter to most people. But I don't think it's a laughing matter. And also your car is painted, well, first of all, black and white. Just there are no colors in the world. When you really look at it, the world has no colors no more. But most importantly, it's also colored in carbon footprint. All right, eventually you will spend 1 hour a week thinking of all this carbon footprint you're building up into the atmosphere for no reason. The dumbest fucking thing. I don't think it even exists. But here you go. You're doing something bad just by owning a car. You feel guilty, maybe. Yeah, and if most cars are fucking black and white, that's another problem. That's why owning a car is fame. Because you fundamentally have to own a fucking car that stands out from the rest. You have to have a full body paint, full flag basically printed on the car. If you're not doing that, you just don't have a fucking car. Alright? You just have a pile of fucking junk and you're like everyone else. If you are conformed to be like everyone else, you lose the fucking game of life immediately. You get L after L every single day. You're collecting L's, right? I'm like everyone else. I am a fucking robot. Everyone trains themselves to be a robot. This is like the biggest trap ever. Like if I swear to God, it's probably rivaling Rent itself. Because Rent is not fundamentally a trap. Like, you almost can't escape it. You can't escape cars, fundamentally, and you should. And that's the first thing you're supposed to do in life. You spawn and escape cars. You jump out of the moving car as a baby, alright? And let it fucking explode. Doesn't matter whether the baby has to be in the car or not. You just jump out of the fucking car. You don't need that shit. You have baby legs. And when you're done traveling back home, you will have man legs. Or child legs. I'm not sure how fast they grow, but you'll have it. You'll have exactly what you need by the time you're done walking to your mommy. Yes, hitchhiking is a thing, but it's the weirdest thing ever. But it's still better than Rent, right? Can you hitchhike a Rent? Yes, you can sleep over in someone's place. I guess that it's kind of equivalent. But yeah, I do think cars literally rival the biggest trap of all time that sucks up money for free is fucking vacuum cleans your pockets every single month. But cars can actually just total your life, ruin your life in so many other ways, right? It's Rent is for passive people to be screwed over, and cars are for active people. It's like introvert extrovert screw over of capitalism. You better fucking barricade yourself in mom's basement, but never pay rent. You better come anywhere you're going, but 2 hours too late, but never own a car. All right. Those are the principles. I think they're very simple and legit. Literally, as a driver, you can only like listen to radio. You can only be brainwashed by the nearest brainwashing machine. Okay? Or you can use me as your podcast. I don't know how many people I can save because I literally tell you that your car is on fire and you should jump out. So I don't know how many people I can save, to be honest. So maybe just don't listen to me in a car. Maybe you're too screwed over right now to have me in your ears. You just can't afford me right now, buddy. Again, if you want to be a driver, Fuck yeah, dude. That's a noble thing to do. Alright? You're kind of killing cars. You're a car killer. You use your car to kill other cars. That sounds great. Amazing. If you become so convenient that even people who own a car still want to use your service, that's the biggest win of all time. Because some people own a car, they own a driver's license, but they're too fucking dangerous on the wheel. They shouldn't be on the wheel, and they know it. And that's the funniest thing. That's another thing that I heard during my travels of like, well, I do own driver's license, but I do tend to let other people drive, because I get fucking annoyed, nervous, right? You can have just tiny psychological conditions, and you're now in total danger in a car, and not to mention the fucking heat waves and everything of being able to manage the whole thing, fucking melt in your own car. No, I don't expect anyone to know how to build a house, how to build a fucking telephone, or build a car, or even reinvent a fucking bike. I don't expect anyone to know this shit. Although that does make it a little bit more dangerous. But you are technically relying on other people all the time. And you still have to learn way too many rules. Like this, the investment that you have to make is so tremendous, I have no idea why people are still addicted. But people addicted to smoking, drinking, toxic shit, they just mimic something that feels good, but only get 10% of the benefits from that thing, so it is what it is. If it feels good to just like drive to a grocery store, pack your bags into the car, and drive home, right? But what feels even better is when you can carry the fucking groceries home. It's just 30 minutes, you know? Boom, 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 boom. You're home. I did it. And you grow muscle. And you don't have to go to the fucking gym. How about that for a proposition? And I learned how to hold groceries so my hands don't get tired. Because the grip makes the hands like really fucking pressured and just uncomfortable way. But, I did it. I learned how to fucking handle groceries. No car needed. Never needed. And there is no excuse. There's nothing you can say in my comments. Whatever you're gonna fucking say is just gonna be a larger trap of like, well, I can't actually live in a place where I can live without a car. And it's just like, yeah, that's a much bigger trap, isn't it? The trap extended itself automatically. You're not gonna fucking flex on me and say that cars are somehow necessary, and that fixes the problem. That's exactly the fucking problem, right? The trap is the problem. And if you're trapped, that's still a trap. If you are trapped and you have no other choice, that's 10 times bigger trap than normal, but it's still absolutely a trap. So there's no excuse. If it's possible, and it's possible in a lot of places, cars are not necessary. Guys, we lived without cars. And yes, that's the worst argument I can say because we lived without computers. We lived without thousands of things. But cars actually feel like just additional layer of isolation, additional level of conformity to capitalism. It's just too early. You just don't know how capitalism works. You own a car and the car owns you. The car owns you. That is the funny end game, basically. That's why it's a trap. You don't want in capitalism for your possessions to own you more. Where do you want to travel? You want to travel somewhere? Yes? Does that make sense, traveling? I don't think it makes sense. You're still gonna leave home. If you travel, how much can you carry when you travel? What can you do with the fucking car besides go to work? Be more consistent in the workplace. Even then, it's better to probably just have a bike. Pretty safe to have a bike. If something happens, you can just buy a new one. That's always cool. When you know one bike repair place, that's the one. That's one and only. You probably don't need more. So the reality is, like, my mom owned a bike, and technically that made her efficient enough to where even, like, she's a screwed up person. She's a dumbass. But my mom got saved automatically. If she owned a car, it would be probably uh doomsday device for our entire family. Like, my dad owned a car and he crashed a car. So I actually live under a car crasher. I don't know exactly what happened and how he escaped the situation without, with just financial damages. But the fact is a fact. My dad is a drama queen, and he found out the hard way. He's kind of just way worse, but he's more hardworking. So I don't know. It kind of balances itself out a little bit. But the bike was something that gave my mom a little bit of an edge. If we were to compete, my dad versus my mom has quite a bit of an edge on a lot of things right now. Now, she lost the bike, and it's very easy to lose it, but what can you do? Well, you can turn your bike into a trap, and I think that is exciting. Your bike gets stolen, but you can actually track your bike, or it's properly marked. You fuck them up, bro. You can catch a bike thief with your special bike. Your bike might be special enough to where you can actually catch a bike thief. You're taking pictures of your bike. You're fucking ready for that bastard to come take his chances. You do tend to like see the toxic part of the world a lot quicker when you own a bike, but I think it's worth it. I think it's fucking cool. It gives you more senses, more sensitivity, and you should. As an NPC, you need to be more sensitive. Car is gonna make you a little bit too sensitive, to where like you very very careful, and that makes you a robot. It makes you very very compliant. So the personality itself deteriorates. You're getting brain rot in a car, and car rot. I'll actually ask ChatGPT because it has, all the possible knowledge. It will tell us additional things that cars just don't do correctly. Now, I didn't really plan to just call it a trap. And yes, again, the moment you chase fame, everything flips upside down. Car is the best thing. Alright? Car is a starter kit at this point. Like, look at this. Cars. Alright? How far away from stars is Cars? Not very far away, is it? But also not very far away from scars. From getting you into deep trouble. Scarring you for life because you're gonna own something that is very difficult to handle. For fuck's sake, you don't just buy a car, you buy a garage for the car. Where are you gonna put the fucking car? Like, all of a sudden, you see a shiny thing, and you forget everything that is required for that shiny thing to even function properly. Right? Which includes the most important thing, accurate intention. If you do not have accurate intention, you probably shouldn't own a gun, for example. You're just not accurate. Oh, I'm gonna shoot the shooter. Yeah, sure. And then they're gonna shoot you because you're also a shooter. After shooting a shooter. How is that gonna work? When I was living my life, I had to just fundamentally figure out what things are optional. Some people mix that shit up just enough to make themselves buy a lot of optional items. Car is not a money investment. It's not even an investment most of the time. It's a waste of time. And eventually it's just pure depression that you will unleash onto the world. Your car will start farting louder than anyone else. Will start banging music louder than anyone else. And it's like you can become the most toxic person attached to your car. Should you be proud? List me some trap moments. It gives freedom, but there are insane trade-offs. Insurance, registration, like insurance can cost more than a car, but that's America, of course. America has just the most amazing things to think about. You know, of like, how does it fucking exist? Is the real question at the end of the day. How does America exist? Loan payments, parking is ridiculous. Depreciation, inspections, registrations. Just to me, this list is so fucking scary and so disgusting. Like, damn, bro. Damn. How does anyone own a car? Anyone, a single human being? That is my question, you know? And I was asking this from the first moment when I was able to contemplate getting a driver's license. Immediately I was like, how the fuck do people do that? It's almost like contemplating sex at this point. How do people have sex, man? Don't you have to start a relationship first? And you definitely don't know how to do that. You just don't know how to do that. You have a driver's license, but I feel like you need brain cells for that. Not just driver's license. You need to logically think first. If the shit you're buying actually is going to benefit you. Like, it's just insane, dude. It's insane. Cheap car illusion, lifestyle inflation. Yay. Once you own a car, you live further away, shop farther away, tolerate sprawl cities. Yeah, you basically kind of build tolerance for bad things, for toxic things. Is that a good idea? And what happens when your car breaks down? It's the magical emergency situation where you're completely fucking stranded in your own home. You are stranded. There's a lot of people who live like 6 hours away from the nearest fucking store. Who are these people, man? I swear, Americans are aliens, and it's going to be the craziest video I will ever make. Just talking of like how Americans live will be the craziest capitalism explained video. They just like live their lives. No. Americans don't live their lives. American is at best a social experiment, basically. I don't know, was it founded to last like 500 years, 600 years? But it's definitely a social experiment. It's gonna be over soon, right? Like, America will stop doing stupid shit. Because it's ridiculous. It's the most... You can make a fucking endless comedy out of that. Like, you can literally make a comedy career out of just talking about how dumb Americans are and how weird their lives are. And it's just like, damn. Damn. Comedy. Damn. And then through comedy, you can easily get into politics. Right? You can easily climb that ladder into, like, very, very high level. Into being, Vladimir Zelensky. And fight Russia, you know? From comedian to fighting the biggest country in the world. Well, that's what I want in life. Alright? Not really. But it's so available just because you talk about how Americans live their life. You can already become a president of any country of your choice except America. Because you definitely don't want to do that. Alright? They're not gonna let you make fun of America while you're trying to become American president. It's just not gonna let you do that. It's not gonna work. But everything else goes. All right. Parking brain damage. I don't want to read anymore. This just is fun enough, man. Parking brain damage. I can't park my car. Oh my god. Finding parking, avoiding tickets, moving from street cleaning. Oh shit. Worrying about theft. One random failure can instantly cost hundreds or thousands. The time sink, gas stations, maintenance appointments, tire swaps, washing, paperwork, inspection, registration, renewal. Oh my god, I can't even take care of my own fucking hygiene. And people can take care of their cars. No, they are just fucking trapped. And it's miserable to see when you feel lonely of like, why do people choose to be trapped? What is wrong with them? Genuinely, I probably never invited a bigger boogeyman into my room in particular. Like, in the history of boogeyman that I had in my room, and I had quite a few, even like roaches. There's a few roaches in my room right now. This is way fucking bigger than this. Just like words describing what it's like to own a car. Damn. Damn, that's a horror story, bro. Don't show this on Halloween, bro, to anyone. Just show something way less scary, bro. Oh my god. Because, like, it's so relatable. This horror is so relatable. Everyone can relate. Am I right? It's like you watch a horror movie where if you smoking or drinking, your fucking head explodes. The head exploder serial killer. Oh no. Except when your car explodes, it's so much more believable. It's like, shit, man, that can happen. They can plant explosives in your car and you might not even notice when that happens. Or they can do kill switches and all that crazy stuff. Although that's even beyond the list, right? It's like science fictional government overreach. Health side effects. Oh, yes. Remember that fucking sitting? You're stuck in a sitting position. That's incredible. Like, what? Even bikers are not actually sitting, by the way. Sleep loss. No. Oh my fucking god, dude. I don't know, man. This is so miserable. Accident paranoia. Freedom machine becoming a cage. So I can fucking instantly judge you just based on the color of your car. You know? I can instantly understand that you're having a miserable life. There's another interesting way to describe cars as traps. Ticks. It's a weird human response where you just want to do something, but it means nothing. Right? Like, you have a car. Like, you want to do something on your car because you have it. But it's going to mean nothing when you do it. Right? You can't come up with a good reason to use a car, but you really want it. And you're basically torn apart for no good reason. Your decision making gets much more faulty. You use a car just because you have it. Again, it's the car owning you and asking you to use it just so it doesn't feel useless. Like, it even feels bad to me if I have like a laptop that I don't use. Why am I not using that laptop anymore? Luckily, I don't use the laptop because it's kind of broken. With a car, you don't have excuses like that laying around. When a car is broken, that's exactly when you use it. You know? I don't know, if you wanted to be an asshole, you would come up with internet is a trap. And I think everyone will laugh and move on with their lives. Don't remember the last time I needed to pay for gasoline to use the internet. Don't remember the last time my internet crashed into a tree. Damn. You can have sex in a car, though. Damn. You guys are homeless, aren't you? Become socially inconvenient so people are feel forced. Forced. The scariest word in the universe. When you're forced to do something. Cars like a rich person's rage bait. They own luxury cars to just rage bait you to think that cars are useful in some kind of way. But you're just basically paying into the system that doesn't benefit you at all. Into a mindset that's gonna cripple you, not empower you. Again, if you are an NPC, if you're anything beyond that, all of a sudden having extra superpowers come in handy. But you still have to be, like, smart about it. Usually, instead of a car, you're gonna own an ice cream truck. You know, make actual money while driving around. Now that's freedom. That I can fucking understand. It's like an all-in-one inclusive experience. A fast food truck, you name it, is the best thing ever. And you start picking up locations, you start becoming famous just on the spot. You bought the correct car for a correct purpose. While everyone else is trying to use a car to get to their job, your car is your job. That's the only correct way to do it, man. You can even have a potato truck or whatever. Fucking potato van. Just delivering potatoes. Deliver fucking Dunder Mifflin papers. Alright? Just deliver paper. Deliver journals. Whatever the fuck you need. There's a car for it. Then it makes sense. But that's what it is. People just want to own things for the sake of owning things. That's the deranged version of capitalism. It simply doesn't work. Right? But people will continue adopting toxic beliefs, keep on cramming themselves into the toxic beliefs, and help us, smart people, find life very funny and miserable at the same time, if in case we have a little bit of empathy left for these idiots, basically. What other shiny things you want to own? Maybe even a house can be a trap. It depends on what the cost is, how much you are working towards it, right? You make a wrong move with capitalism and you burning time. Shiver me timbers. You ran out of time. You die. Remember when I said in the intro, cars kill people? It's the #1 cause of death. Fucking period. Alright? There's no debate about it. #1 cause of death under capitalism. Under capitalism, by the way. It's gonna change. Like, we will start thinking about autonomous cars. And it used to be different back then as well, because not that many people owned cars to begin with. Cars were kind of a novelty. You still were thinking with your fucking head, and you needed a good reason to own a car. Right? The moment my dad crashed a car, he stopped owning a car. And guess, probably because he lost his driver's license forever. But at the same time, that's just what happened. Alright? Technically not back in the past, but I wasn't born then. Right? I guess I was. I don't know. Capitalism hit my dad very hard then. Under capitalism, not communism, people started owning things for the sake of owning things. People started doing the dumb things. The funny thing is, it's not even exciting. Like, where are you gonna drive? To what event? Where are you gonna find friends? How do you make friends? I still don't know. Right? Convention? You go to a nerd convention. Yes, the only thing cars useful for is that you can go to the nearest game jam and realize that the game jam sucks too. That all the events kind of fucking suck. And it's very difficult to make friends, period. Right? Just because you have a fucking ticket doesn't mean you will enjoy where you're going. It's the greatest illusion under capitalism. You own something. You own the fucking lottery ticket. Ticket of any kind. You go to that place and it sucks. And if you forget to remember that for the rest of your life, you're just gonna get sucked into that behavior of buying meaningless tickets and a ticket fucking dispenser, basically. Again, I lived a wonderful life with my friends, coming to my room, playing video games. That was fucking cool. And now they're all gone because cars exist, technically. We just feel the need to move out. We have the power to escape, and it gives us even more brain rot. The car ownership fucking invents brain rot. It's the greatest brain rot invention. Rainbow of a variety of brain rot. Again, it's a miracle that people can actually operate this without crashing into anything. When it's so fucking airtight, the movement is so airtight. And they do tend to crash eventually, and the cars tend to crumble because they have to, and it's just everything is such a fucking messy, nonsensical circus, basically. Nothing makes sense. There's no real solution being presented here. It's just a very interesting way of life that people are just, they can't wait to be a part of. They just couldn't wait. I personally didn't get into trouble, but, you know, you get to hear stories. You get to hear horror stories about this. As if, like, cars are a cancer. That you never know when it's gonna take your life. It doesn't take much to end up a cripple. And your life is completely ruined, even if you're not a casualty. Not to mention police chases making no fucking sense and endangering people. Not to mention pollution in general. Air quality, noise quality. Is noise quality a thing? Everything gets ruined just a little bit more with every single car. And not only car owners ruin themselves, but they ruin other people. There's secondhand smoking. It's not just secondhand casualties of being a pedestrian in the wrong side of the fucking road. And you always have to worry about cars in general, right? You always have to double check if is car coming? You have to worry. They put a burden on you. They make you pay for it. What the fuck is that? I just want to cross the fucking road right now. I don't want to fucking find a cross path, right? Where I can actually cross the road. What are you talking about? There's so much conflict, so much drama that comes out of this shit. Out of this drama sponge, basically. We should all just collectively throw our cars into a fire pit and be happy, even if it doesn't pay us anything, even if there's no compensation. We just throw it collectively as if they are weapons of mass destruction that we just discarded from our pockets, that we never fucking needed, right? And we hug each other and it's like, oh my god, the hell that we had to live through, you know? Owning cars was the hell on earth. Like, I swear to God, even as a pedestrian, I'm just walking around and now I have to dodge cars. You know, it's my additional responsibility to dodge every single car, right? So no matter where I am as a pedestrian, there's car everywhere, all right? I mean, there are safe spots, granted. There are safe spots, but technically I live in an apartment, and people are parking cars left and right? And there's, again, more conflict because some cars don't even fit the fucking roads. There's like one-way road, basically. If a car is in the middle of the road, it's blocked, essentially. You're screwed over. And it's the worst thing when it's not your fault anymore, where the system itself is screwed and doesn't let you through. A road rage. I mean, probably Cars is the scariest movie made for children. God damn, dude. I'll probably need to rewatch it in this context. The scariest movie ever made. Sounds so fun. Health side effects. Like, you're doomed to actually forget all the downsides of owning a car. You're just fucking doomed. Ooh, shiny. I like car now, actually. Yeah, if you want to be an asshole, go buy a car. But what if, hypothetically speaking, volcano erupts, hurricane starts, you'll need a car to escape. No, you need friends to escape, okay? Who own a car. Someone else will do it for you. Forget about it. Focus on the other things. Car's not magical device that lets you go from point A to point B. It's a magical device that turns every single human being into something that you have to worry about now. All of a sudden, everyone has to worry about each other to not run them over. It's not a simple device where you go from point A to point B. It's a responsibility of the greatest kind. In the end, it's not worth it. And people have lost so many lives trying to make it to work. Pathetic. I don't have to agree on politics, but we can agree on the most important thing that we both agree on, right? Cars fucking suck. We cannot have universal basic income until we have universal basic transportation. You want to encounter police less often? Start using that less. The fact that road rage was actually discarded from the list is insane. Are you fucking crazy? Near top, honestly. Micro conflicts. Imagine how it brain rots you to have so much drama in your life. And only when you start agreeing with everyone will you be able to kind of fit in. Yeah, the only thing Cars did that is a magical thing, and I love it, it's replaced rent for some people. I mean, that's the funniest thing. People found shelter in their cars. I mean, I appreciate that a lot. That's probably the best thing Cars did that I can't argue with at all. Does my trip comes into this video? Because I technically had a trip, right? And it would come into this video if I wasn't a fucking passenger, you know? If I had to deal with the responsibility of owning a car, the guy was actually basically taken hostage. He had to wait 5 hours because he can't just drop off people and move on with his life. No, he owns the damn thing. He's a designated driver. He has to wait. We cannot actually designate another driver for each task. No, because when you own something, you can't just drop it off. You can't just leave it. You have to protect it. You have to own it. It changes your decision making entirely. Like there were 5 hours. I could have easily been brought back home, but you never know. You never know how to exactly behave in situations like this. So cars are just fundamentally not even optimized. You cannot go one way with the car. You have to bring it back. All right? You have to go. You cannot go one way with the car and go back on your legs. You have to bring back the car too. You're stuck with it. You're chained to it. It can easily become a logistical puzzle with no good answers. I mean, logistical puzzle becomes when you go one way and get drunk, and now you cannot drive your own car anymore. And that is logistical nightmare. You don't get drunk, you can't drink anymore. I mean, it interferes with other toxic traits. Usually that's not the case. You can smoke and drink. You can do drugs and drink. I don't know. The only interference is car. So I feel sorry for everyone, who want to be max toxic. You can't do that and own a car at the same time. I'm so sorry for you. And God forbid our reality creates a billionaire that increases the fatality rate of cars with an ugly looking fucking truck, basically. A dumpster car becomes the most famous thing ever. Thank you, biggest billionaire. Thank you for your service. This is how cars should feel. It's a very accurate representation of a car. Colorless pile of trash. I don't even want to embarrass the car. If I compare it to using AI with a bike with a car, I think bike would just win. Like, I can imagine already, like, car gets 75 points and bike gets 88 points. Bike is just better transportation, period. And people ignore it. Because it looks weird, It doesn't look like a comfortable room that you can sit in. Because we're so compartmentalized to seek comfort so badly. Car's like a plush toy. Just with this one, I can even say that the funny car thing, just make sure the brakes are working. See you guys next time.